All right, folks, here we are, beginning of week 3. I want to go over the materials since I'm getting a lot of feedback that the orientation videos with some basic instruction is really helpful. So here's what we're going to do. We are at the week 3, week of May 4th to May 8th budgeting skills review. So I've got 4 assignments in here. The first being a materials review assignment. Basically, what I want you to do first here is go in and take a look at the master presentation for budgeting. Just kind of go through it. And then I want you to go through vocabulary. This is a pre-filled organizer, and I want to refamiliarize you guys with key terms related to budgeting. The third item here is a frayer. And I want you to download this, save it, because I am still getting a lot of stuff submitted that is blank. So you guys download the organizer and then you work on it and then you don't save it, or you grab the wrong organizer and submit it back. So I've got stuff coming back blank fairly frequently. Got to make sure you're sending me the right one, guys. But with the frayer, I want you to go through and associate key terms. So what's an asset? Versus what's a wealth building asset. The presentation has some key info on that. An asset is anything you own, obviously, but a wealth building asset, it's like your house. It's something that increases in value over time. And this is one of the things that's helped you increase your net worth over time. Then over here, on fixed income and variable income. What's fixed income? What can you rely on? What's variable income? What's passive income? So I want you to be able to make some associations. This is pretty quick. You shouldn't spend more than about 5 minutes on this. Take 10 minutes to review the materials, another 3 minutes to go through the vocab, and then draw some associations for me. So moving on. Let's see. Let me get out of here. All righty. Well, it's not letting me get out of here. Lovely. Okay, here we go. So we're back to budgeting review. When it moves. Okay. Now I've got 2 worksheets, 2 organizers I want you to complete. And you've seen stuff like this before. We went through the budgeting unit and we kind of looked at this stuff in detail. So what I've done here is provide you with an example that pretty much tells you exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, I want you to break this down, your sources of income. So on the left side here, you are itemizing by type, and then you're estimating how much this earns you on a given month. Remember, when you're doing a budget, it's by month. And then down here, you have your expense category. So what are you spending money on? What do your bills look like? And how much? Now, this is set up so that we're looking at an extended period of time. I want you to do this for a month. Okay? But I'm going to put a twist in this. I want you to do this for what you expect that you will be doing when you're 30 years old. So what expenses will you have? Start with what you've got now, but when you're 30 years old, you're on your own, you're making your own money, you're a responsible, functioning, upwardly mobile, successful adult in whatever you choose to be doing, you are accurately predicting what your income will be, and you're accurately predicting what your expenses are going to be. Being an adult is expensive, guys, and I don't want you to walk into this with some type of culture shock. So once you've done so, you tally the total income, you tally your total expenses, and then you run some math on it. Okay, so you're going to get a bottom line number here, and anything you have here is what's left over for you to save and invest. That's wealth building. That's real wealth building. So your leftover income is what you have to go out and invest in the markets, put in savings, put in bonds, save up to start a business, whatever. That's your extra money you put to work working for you. You. This isn't about me. This is about you. So this is how you arrive at how much you have left. Okay, so moving back. Here's the organizer. It's a blank copy. of what we just looked at, and we'll take a look at that here as soon as it pops open. So same thing. Just go through, run the math, and calculate income and expenses when you're 30, when you're an adult, and how much money you've got left over every month. If you end up with a negative, well, you need to be rethinking your lifestyle. Okay, so that's your income statement or cash flow statement as it's listed here. Now, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to go in and look at your balance sheet. And remember, we did this kind of too for your expenses now in a short class exercise. So same thing. I want you to go in. I want you to pull up the balance sheet. And this is where you itemize all of your assets. Remember, an asset is anything of value that you can resell. So an asset would be your personal property, your car, any investments, especially any money in a checking or savings account, your home if you own a home. And then you value it here on this side. Okay, but look at this. A car, that's not really a wealth building asset because it starts devaluing the second you drive it off the lot. It's worth less. Same thing with that iPhone 11 that you've got. Well, they're going to come out with the iPhone 12 and all of a sudden the price point on that iPhone 11 is not going to be worth much. And in 5 years, the thing's a paperweight. So that's not a wealth building asset. Your clothing, well, you buy it at the store and then you can get it secondhand or get it at a yard sale for maybe, if you're lucky, 5% of what you paid for it. So this stuff doesn't hold its value, but this does. Your home holds value. Okay, your savings and investments hold value and increase in value over time. So you will need to separate them out into general assets versus the ones that are going to help you get wealthy and increase your net income, your net wealth over time. Okay, so make sure you're separating those out. And again, if you have questions about what's what, look at the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint's got a pretty good explanation of this. And if you aren't sure, well, do your best on that. Send me a remind and I'll walk you through the process a little bit. Okay, now here's the thing about these big wealth building assets and maybe some of these ones that are, going to put you underwater as far as your net wealth. They often come with a liability. So with your house, most of us can't afford to plunk down $300,000 for a house. If you can, great, but us mere mortals can't. We have what's called a mortgage. So if you have the asset, you take the market value, but you also have to subtract what you owe on that because you're paying the bank every month for probably the next 360 months, 30 years. Same thing with credit card debt. Credit card debt is a wealth sucker. You end up paying more. You end up paying a lot more if you are paying month to month because of the interest. So you want to limit this. $5,000 in credit card debt is a fair amount. That's money you could be investing up here to increase your wealth, and you're just paying the credit card company because you wanted instant gratification on that iPhone 11 that's now a paperweight. So keep an eye on this one. But again, same thing here. Add your total assets, so sum of regular assets plus sum of wealth building, and get a total. Okay, then you sum up your liabilities, everything you owe, and put it here. And then you subtract it out. And guess what? That's your net worth. You're free and clear worth $20,000 in this example. So what I want you to do is do the same thing. But again, put yourself in your 30-year-old self's mind. What realistically does the 30-year-old have? Do you own your own home? You probably own your own car. You probably have started developing an investment portfolio because I've spent so much time trying to teach you how to become wealthy in my class. So that's what I'm looking for you to do as far as worksheet submissions. Now, I do have another assignment here. I want you to go down here to the discussion board. And I really want you to take 10 minutes and think about what your financial situation is really going to be like when you're 30. What are you going to have to plan for between now and then? Because 30 seems like a long time. It's half your life again away. But realistically, 15 years goes by really, really fast. And all of a sudden, you will run up on 30 all of a sudden, and you may have the realization, wow, I didn't plan for it. Where did the last decade go? So I want you to take a couple of minutes and reflect on this. So that's what I have out there. Now, I'm going to close with one final thought. I don't want you to spend more than about 2 hours maybe on the assignments I'm giving you. If you're spending more time on that, you're overthinking it. This is easy. We've already covered this, and you should just be in and out submitting this. So I want to give you maybe 20 or so, 30 maybe minutes per day on this, but I don't want you to really go more than 2 hours a week on my assignments. You got math, you got English, you got language, you got science, you got to focus on. Get the stuff to me. It's important, but don't spend 10 hours a week on this. That's ridiculous. Just don't do it. So send me a send me an email. You can contact me during my office hours if you have questions, or set up a meeting if my office hours don't suit you. Anyway, good luck, and good luck managing your budget. Thanks.